here whittling.
We'll whittle up our idea for something better to do, I reckon.
City living, nothing to do, and all day to do it.
Some nights you only have done.
It'll be the ruination of all of us.
Well, you ought to come, Miss Jane.
Mr. Drysdale ain't with her.
Well, Mr. Drysdale's in New York.
Well, I wish we was in New York, away from this city living.
I hear tell New York is bigger than Beverly Hills.
Go on.
Don't seem possible, but that's what Mr. Drysdale said.
Oh, he was only greening you.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
Greetings. Granny, Mr. Clampett, I have the most thrilling, exciting news. Mr. Drysdale telephoned from New York this morning.
Well, that beats anything that happened around here this morning.
Say, Miss Jane, is it true New York is bigger than Beverly Hills?
Yes, indeed, 8 million people, but listen to this. Mr. Clampett, you now own a motion picture studio.
Is that a fact? You hear that, Granny?
Yeah, and I still don't believe it. 8 million people.
That ain't all, Granny. Mr. Drysdale says they got trains that runs underground.
Is that true, Miss Jane?
Yes, but I think you failed to grasp the significance of Mr. Drysdale's message. You see, for some time now, Mammoth Picture Studios has been in trouble, and Mr. Drysdale has been buying stock in your name. Yesterday, he flew to New York to represent you at a board of directors meeting, and you now control Mammoth Pictures.
You don't say.
I just want to ask you one thing. Who's the engineer? A gopher?
What engineer?
Damn trains that run underground.
Heard it all. They got buildings there high as the goose flies. Ain't that right, Miss Jane?
Right. But please, I still don't think you comprehend the message. Let me repeat what Mr. Drysdale said.
I've heard more than I can swallow now. I've got pig's knuckles on the stove.
Would you join us, Miss Jane?
Mr. Clampett, aren't you the least bit thrilled by what you've just heard?
Shucks, no. Since we can afford it, we have pig's knuckles once or twice a week.
No, I mean about owning a motion picture studio. Aren't you thrilled?
Can't say as I am. Don't know much about it.
You're a Selznick, a Warner, a Zanuck, a Scourse.
Now, Miss Jane, there ain't no call to go mean-mouthing me.
Mr. Drysdale will talk to you when he comes back.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I wish you wouldn't run off, man.
It's not that I'm mad. It's just that I don't seem able to make you understand what you are.
What's that?
You're a big Hollywood mogul. You're a star, a magnet.
Please, Miss Jane, not in front of the boy.
Hello, Miss Jane. You gonna stay and have knuckles with us?
I'm sorry, Jethro. I have to hurry back to the office. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Miss Jane. No hard feelings.
Jed, what we gonna do over that movie studio?
Well, that depends on what kind of trouble it's in. All we can do is sort of look around, see what needs doing, and then pitch in and do it.
I reckon I'll be a producer or director. Maybe a star.
Well, I can take care of critters like Ren 1010 and Tarzan the Ape Man.
I can cook riddles for Hoop Gibson.
That's the spirit.
What are you gonna do, Uncle Jed?
Well, at first, I reckon all I can do is just sort of stand around and own the place.
Hold it. Oh, just where do you think you're going?
Well, what's going on inside of the movie studio?
Oh? You got a pass?
No, we'll pay cash.
Jed, you don't have to pay. You own the place.
Oh, we can afford to help 'em out, Granny. How much for the 4 of us?
Now be sure and get matinee prices.
Are you kidding? Now, look, just turn this heap around and get out of here.
Now, we don't want no trouble. Just charge whatever you think is fair.
Look, you're blocking traffic. Now, will you clear out?
Tell him who you are, Paul.
Yeah, I reckon I better. I'm Jed Clampett. I own this studio.
Oh, I'm glad to meet you. I'm Rock Hudson.
Well, pleased to meet you, Mr. Hudson. Jethro, Granny.
Get out before I call the police and have you arrested.
I don't know what old trouble he's having, but one thing they could use is a friendlier ticket taker.
I blame myself for what happened, Mr. Clampett. When I called you a Zanuck, a big Hollywood mogul, I obviously got you all stirred up.
Oh, Miss Jean, I don't hold that against you.
I shouldn't have done it. But I am certain Mr. Drysdale doesn't intend for you to take an active interest in the studio.
He's having trouble, ain't he?
Oh, yes, that's how he was able to grab it so cheaply. Invest in it so wisely. Why don't we just let matters ride until Mr. Drysdale returns?
Now, Miss Jean, if I own the studio, I feel it's my bounden duty to go over there and take a good look around.
Oh, well, I can certainly arrange that. A tour of the lot will be very interesting. I'll call the head of the studio, Mr. Lawrence Chapman.
Miss Jane Hathaway.
Never heard of her.
She's with the Commerce Bank.
Never heard of her.
They represent the new owner of the studio.
Hello, Janie, baby. Hiya, sweetie. How's my favorite princess? Of course I know you. They're on their way over? Now, don't you worry, doll. I'll make sure they get the red carpet treatment. They'll be dressed how? Driving a what? Boy, I can't wait to commence being a movie producer.
What does the movie producer do?
Well, mostly he just goes around asking pretty girls if they want to be in movies.
That sounds like something you can handle.
Where'd you learn to be a movie producer?
Seen a movie about one.
Keep your eyes open, boy. Yonder's our studio.
Here they come. Flag them down. I'll put them in my car. Do you mean to tell me those people actually do own the studio? Come on, flag them down.
Hold it, hold it. Hi, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson.
Hi, Mr. Hudson.
Howdy, Mr. Hudson.
Boy, that long Hudson sure is friendly now.
Yeah, waving like Morse on a windy day.
Mr. Clampett? Mr. Clampett?
Yes, sir. I'm Jed Clampett.
Oh, Lawrence Chapman, studio head.
Oh, howdy, howdy.
This is a rare moment, Mr. Clampett. You're the talk of the industry.
I am?
Well, the way you took over this studio brings back the old days. You know what they're calling you here in Hollywood. They're calling you a Lemley, a Zucker, a Roach.
Do you feel that way?
To me, you're the biggest.
Well, I got to admire you for saying it to my face. Oh, this is the family. Granny, Ellie Mae, Jethro, meet Mr. Chapman.
Howdy, Chapman. Where's your little mustache and your hat and your cane?
What?
Do your funny little walk for us, Charlie.
Oh, no. My name is Chapman.
Oh. Hey, can we go inside and look around now?
Not right now. They're shooting in there.
I told you it was cowboys.
As a matter of fact, they're shooting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
They must be the outlaws.
Sort of wish we could go in and watch.
Well, you can go inside as soon as the shooting stops. See, but it's not a Western. It's a remake of the Robert Louis Stevenson classic.
I don't hear no shooting. Come on, Jan.
No, wait! Who opened the door? God!
Mr. Clampett, this is just a visit, isn't it? I mean, you and your family probably can't stay long.
You cheer up, Mr. Chapman. We ain't gonna run out on you.
You ain't? Hard?
We hear you got trouble.
Well, we've had a few bad breaks, but we're coming back real strong. You know, working on that stage right now is one of the biggest names in the business. Sir Trevor Gielgud Burton Guinness.
That's a big one, all right.
We're paying him $500,000 plus a percentage. But he's worth it. Box office dynamite. Women are mad about him. Oh, Sir Trevor! I'd like you to meet a very important man. Mr. Jed Clampett. This is Sir Trevor Gielgud Burton Guinness, the famous star.
Oh, no.
Good to meet you, Mr. Sir Trevor.
Mr. Clampett owns a studio.
You'll pardon my saying so, Mr. Clampett, but you don't look the part.
Well, no, I reckon not.
How's the picture going?
Well, frankly, I'd like some younger and prettier girls to work with.
Excuse us, come along. I'll speak to the casting director. He's my nephew.
Jed, did you see that hairy goober with the high hat?
Yonder he stands.
That man can cure hiccups.
He is right plain looking. Fancy dresser, though, and a big star.
Go on.
That is Mr. Sir Trevor Gielgud Burton Guinness.
Who gives Ebsen's horse looks better than him.
Folks, how did you like Sir Trevor?
Oh, just fine.
Magnificent hide, don't you think?
Well,
I've seen better on the backside of a mangy buffalo.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Clampett, Sir Trevor would like you to join him for lunch in his dressing room.
you would, huh?
Yeah.
I believe I'll pass that up, Mr. Chapman.
I'll tell him. Pardon me, please.
If he'd have said any place but his dressing room, I might have said yeah.
What you mean, Jed?
Well, he looks bad enough with his clothes on. Dogged if I want to be eating lunch when he takes them off.
What do you mean they're driving around the lot? I told you to take them to the executive dining room and keep them busy eating for a while, didn't I?
I tried, but there wasn't anything on the menu they liked.
Well, send out for it.
What do you send for possum shanks and pickled crawdads?
Alvin, I've got to do something to impress Mr. Clampett quick, or I'm going to be unemployed. When I'm unemployed, everybody's unemployed.
Well, wasn't he impressed by Sir Trevor Gielgud Burton Guinness?
Nah. What does he know from British actors? If only we were shooting a picture with Rock Hudson.
Universal shooting one. Rock Hudson and Doris Day.
Alvin, you're a schnook. How does that help me?
Well, you borrow yesterday's rushes and you let Mr. Clampett think they're yours.
Alvin, I'm amazed at you. I didn't think you were capable of such a devious and dishonest scheme. You may be running this studio yet.
Well, this here's the teensiest movie theater I ever did see.
Shucks, so you got but 7 seats in the whole place.
Not enough business to even fill them.
Oh, pitiful.
Well, there ain't no piano player.
Ain't got a piano to play.
Heck, fire, you can't even buy popcorn or jawbreakers.
Oh, just pitiful. Well, let's sit down. Maybe the movie will be good.
Well, I got a real treat for you. How would you like to be the first to see Rock Hudson and Doris Day together again after 4 years?
What do you say, Jed?
Well, if they's getting together after all that time, maybe they'd want to be alone. No thanks, Mr. Chapman. We'd just rather see the movie.
Well, that's what I mean. You'll be the first to see the dailies, the rushes. It's the film that was made yesterday.
Oh, fine, fine.
Well, that'll be dandy.
Believe me, Mr. Clampett, this new Rock Hudson Doris Day picture is going to be a smash. I'll see you when it's over. Pardon me.
Well, I'm glad to know that Hudson feller can do more than take tickets.
Maybe if he's good in the picture, he can give up that job out by the gate.
You'll soon see.
Reckon that's Rock Hudson?
Must be.
By doggies, he sure looks better up there than he does out at the gate.
Well, that there must be Doris Day.
Pretty little thing.
She sure is.
Oh, my darling, are you having another nightmare?
No,
There, sweetheart.
somebody hit me.
Oh, it's all right, darling. I'm here now. Well, I think there's a bottle of champagne in the refrigerator. I'll get it.
I'll get it. You're sweet, Julie. I really don't need a wheelchair.
Oh, darling, you need to conserve your strength.
You're a sweetheart. Bum ba bum bum bum. Bum ba bum ba bum bum.
Judy! Judy! Judy, let me in! Judy, I swear to you, please let me in. I'll catch my death of cold.
Good. And be sure to give it to Linda.
Is at the end?
Must be. They turned on the lights.
Just when I was getting interested. The shortest movie I ever did see. What'd you think of it, Jed?
They keep on showing movies that short, they can take out some of these seats.
What did I tell you? Is that a hit or is that a hit? And how about that Rock Hudson? Isn't he handsome?
Well, he sure is. No denying that.
He's got that Mr. Sir Trevor backed off a mile.
Now that you know how things are going, I'm sure you're anxious to leave.
I am. Me too.
Let's go. I'm hungry.
Now, hold on. Shame on you. Of course we's anxious to go, but can we run off and leave this poor man?
Please?
You see, he's begging us to stay. Now let's fan out and dig in.
No, wait. I'll figure out where you're needed the most, and then I'll come back and get you.
Well, my nephew would like to be a producer.
That's what I need. Another nephew producer. Hot dog!
Yeah, boy, looks like you're set.
Yeah. Well, how'd it go? You're schnook again. That's how it went. No. I need an idea. Something to make Mr. Clampett happy.
Well, let's see. We could name a salad after him in the commissary. Put his daughter in pictures. Give him your office.
That's it.
Give him your office?
No.
Name a salad after him.
No. Put his daughter Ellie Mae in pictures. It never fails.
Can she act?
It doesn't matter. Sir Trevor's been yelling for younger and prettier girls. All she has to do is get strangled. My daughter could play it.
Well, she is, Dad.
No wonder he's been yelling.
We're right anxious to commence producing, Mr. Chapman.
Fine. Now, Jethro, your first job will be to find a beautiful girl. See, Uncle Jed, I told you I know how to be a movie producer. She should be the same type as your cousin Ellie Mae. Just about her size. Blonde like Ellie, same kind of voice, figure, everything.
Gee, that's a tough one.
Well, how about her? Granny? No, Ellie. Take Ellie over to makeup.
Why? We ain't had no spat.
Oh, the makeup room. That's where they get the stars ready for the camera. Make them look good. Alvin. No. Take Ellie Mae and Jethro to makeup and then to wardrobe. Fast.
Yes, sir. Follow me.
Come on, Ellie Mae. I just put you in movies.
Well, we got them working. Now what can Granny and me do?
Well, we're doing some location work in Death Valley. Ever been there?
No.
I think you'll like it.
I say, old boy, did you find me a young, pretty girl for the midnight strangulation scene?
Oh, yes, Sir Trevor. She's in makeup now. Beautiful girl. Lovely neck.
Absolutely smacking, old boy. See you on the set. Ta-da.
Mr. Chapman? That makeup room where they get folks looking good for the camera, Mr. Sir Trevor knows about that, huh?
Does he ever? They work on him for 3 hours every morning, getting him to look like that.
You hear that, Granny?
Yep, and I want to tell you something. If he looks like that coming out, I hope I never see him going in.
Now, Miss Clampett, you're standing under this street lamp, waiting for your sweetheart. And suddenly...
But I ain't got no sweetheart.
Well, that's all right. We never see him. Suddenly, Sir Trevor appears out of the darkness and the fog. You're afraid of him.
No, I ain't.
You will be, I assure you. So just react naturally. Sir Trevor, shall we have a rehearsal?
Don't need it, old chap. Let's get on with the scene.
All right, quiet on the set. This is a take.
Ellie sure is pretty, ain't she?
Yeah, I sure wish she was making a movie with Rock Hudson. Shh! Who do you think you're shushing? I'm her granny.
Well, I'm the producer. I discovered her. Quiet!
Watch Ellie.
Action!
What a pretty maiden. Hello, my dear.
Well, howdy there, Mr. Sir Trevor.
Miss Clampett, you do not speak in this scene. Just react to Sir Trevor. Now, once again.
Ellie was just trying to be friendly.
Yeah, you'd think he'd want all the friends he can get.
Quiet. Action!
Oh, what a pretty maiden. Hello, my dear.
I was afraid he'd turn mean.
Ellie can handle him.
Look at that
see he ain't hurt.
Doggone it, Ellie done ruined my first movie.
Yeah, don't worry about it, boy. Make the movie with Rock Hudson. You'll save 3 hours a day just on makeup.
Where are you going on Wednesday morning dressed up like Saturday night?
To Hollywood, to that moving picture studio Mr. Drysdale bought for me.
What you gonna do over there?
Well, make pictures, I reckon. Seeing as how I own the place, the least I can do is to give him a hand.
It ain't hands they need over there in Hollywood. It's heads. Attention, the whole kit and caboodle of them.
Granny, I got to admit them movie folks do act like there's a few straws shy of a bale.
Their thinkers are puny. Why, the sun was shining bright as you please outside. Where do you think they were making and shooting pictures? Inside, with the lights on.
Yeah, I did think that was mighty wasteful. But what got me was the way they kept dragging stuff indoors to make the indoors look like outdoors, when it could have stayed outdoors instead of coming indoors in the first place. Jethro!
If you take my advice, you'll forget the whole crazy business.
Well, now, Granny, Mr. Drysdale must be counting on me to make movies. Why else would he buy me a movie studio?
It's a real estate investment.
Real estate investment, a movie studio?
Of course. It's the land that's valuable. Now, look what 20th Century Fox did with just a part of their lot. Century City.
You mean you do that with Mammoth?
Why not? I'll call it Clampetts City. In fact, I've got architects working on the plans right now.
But, Chief, that studio's been a Hollywood landmark. Why, movie history has been made there for 50 years.
That's long enough. Now, let's make some money there. And this project will make millions. Millions. Millions.
But, Chief...
Never interrupt me when I'm saying that word.
Mr. Drysdale, you may have a steel vault for a heart, but suppose Mr. Clampett wants to continue making movies at Mammoth.
That's very funny. If there's one thing in this world that would not appeal to Jed Clampett, is the phony, tinsel, and nonsense business of making movies.
What kind of movies are you going to make, Paul?
Well, they tell me that the best kind is what they call hits. So I reckon I'll make mostly them.
How about making one with critters?
I might do that. That Rin Tin Tin and Strongheart does right good.
You can use any of my critters you want to.
Well, thank you. I'll study on it. If that Jethro don't get down here and drive me over to the studio, I ain't gonna have time to make more than 1 or 2 movies today. Jethro, what's keeping you?
Kid, I put up some victuals for you to take along.
I thought you was getting me going.
Well, I've been thinking it over. We ain't seen a good movie since we left the hills. Maybe you can make some.
Well, I'll sure do my best if I can round up some of them big stars like Hoot and Buck Jones, William S. Hart, Dustin Farnham, them fellas.
Invite them to have lunch with you, Jed. When they hear what's in that basket, they'll jump at the chance.
Well, what all you got for me?
Everything from crow gizzards to sow belly, including crawdads, fatback, and hand-slung chitlins.
I reckon even movie stars don't eat like that every day.
You round them up, Jed.
I'll do my best if you'll round up Jethro. Tell him I'll be waiting on the truck.
Jethro! You want a hickory stick laid across the back of your lap? Jed, listen.
Granny, you ought to see the mess I found outside.
You ought to see the mess I found upstairs.
Jethro?
Yes. He said that you told him he could be a movie producer, and now he's gonna look like one.
What do you say, Dom? You want to be in pictures?
I'll go cut a hickory stick.
J.D., the way I size up this here picture biz, you have got to be boffo with the box office to recoup your widescreen. And I mean, that's even before the director yells negative. There is producer talk.
What does it mean?
I don't don't know. But I seen these producers over at your studio yesterday, and that's the way they talk. And this is the way they looked.
You mean getting green around the gill?
You want to take him to the woodshed, or should I?
Granny, I kind of think that cigar done whooped him first.
Uncle Jed, would you mind if I commence producing movies tomorrow?
Oh, go on up and go to bed, Jed. Well, I reckon I better call up that Mr. Chapman that runs the studio and tell him the bad news.
Ain't you going?
Yeah, but it'll take a spell. That studio is about a 7 or 8 mile walk.
No wonder Drysdale wants to turn this studio into a real estate development. We haven't shown a profit in 2 years. And you're supposed to be my 4 top producers. Have you turned out a money-making picture in the last 2 years?
No, sir.
How about you?
No, sir.
You?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
A fine bunch of nephews you are. Well, just don't sit there. Somebody answer the phone.
Conference room. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Chapman cannot be disturbed. Now, he'll be tied up all day. Goodbye, Mr. Clampett.
Clampett! He owns a studio! Call him back!
Well, that sure is mighty friendly of you, Mr. Chapman, but I can walk over easy as not.
No, no, no. If you're sure you want to come, I'll send my car for you. Oh, you're sure, huh? Okay. Somebody go and get Mr. Clampett. I'm sending my own nephew to pick you up. Oh, that's all right. I got plenty left.
By the way, Mr. Chapman, Granny and me is right partial to cowboy pictures. You making any?
You bet we are. Who's got a picture shooting?
I have, Uncle Larry.
I have a producer with me now. He's right in the middle of a cowboy picture.
What? Well, that sure is good news. See you directly. Bye.
Goodbye.
Uncle Larry, I'm making a horror picture.
Every picture you make is a horror picture.
I mean, it's one of those chillers. The creature that ate Pasadena.
No, switch it to a Western. Call it The Creature That Ate Dodge City.
Dodge City? It's 1,000 miles away.
Shoot it on the back lot. We've got a Western street.
What'll I do with my monster?
Give him a gun, a 10-gallon hat, and put him on a horse.
Uncle Larry, I have been yesing you for 4 years. For 4 long years.
You want to try for 5?
Yes, sir, Uncle Larry.
Now, hear me and hear me good. Our one chance to keep this studio open is to keep Jed Clampett happy. If he loses interest, that banker will come in here with a bulldozer and we'll all be selling used cars. Our own. Understand?
Yes, sir, Uncle Larry.
You see that he gets the most beautiful office in this studio.
Yes, sir, Uncle Larry.
And you see that he gets the most beautiful secretary.
Yes, sir, Uncle Larry. Oh, are you going to stay here?
Where can I go? I just gave up my office and my secretary. Come on, hurry up. The front gate said Mr. Clampett just arrived.
Well, we won't have time to put his name on the door.
That's all right, just as long as you get mine off. Mr. Clampett, welcome to Mammoth Pictures, home of the cowboy movie.
Yeah, thank you. This is my old hound dog, Duke.
A magnificent animal. Let me help you. Let me take this. What is it?
There's everything in there from crow gizzards to sow belly.
Well, we can get a steak from the commissary. He doesn't need to eat junk like that.
The victuals is for me.
Oh, excuse me. Miss Swenson, this lovely young lady's Miss Swenson. She's going to be your secretary.
Yeah, howdy, ma'am.
How do you do, Mr. Clampett?
She'll be your girl Friday.
Oh, well, I'll see you then.
That simply means she's going to be your assistant. She'll have the office next to yours and be at your beck and call constantly. Now, would you mind showing Mr. Clampett to his office, please? I must be running. Excuse me, please.
Certainly. Right in here.
Well, so long. Come on, Duke. Well, now, this is right nice, ain't it, Duke?
I hope you'll be comfortable, Mr. Clampett.
Hey, you got a right nice office, too.
Oh, no, Mr. Clampett, this is yours. I'll be out there in the reception area.
Oh, well, all right, if that's the way you want it.
Yes, it is. You see, I'll be taking calls and receiving visitors.
Pretty as you are, I bet you get a lot of them, too.
No, Mr. Clampett, you're the one who'll have the callers.
Oh, that's mighty flattering of you, ma'am, but, don't let these fancy duds fool you. I ain't much of a ladies' man.
Yes. Well, is there anything I can do? Would you like me to set up a luncheon appointment for you?
Yeah, yes, I would. I'd like you to invite Hoot Gibson, William S. Hart, and Dustin Farnham to come over and share victuals with me. Well, you too, of course.
Mr. Clampett, you must be joking.
Shucks, no, there's plenty here for all of us.
Mr. Drysdale, I beg of you, reconsider your plans to demolish the studios. It's a hallowed haven of Hollywood memories.
It's a hallowed haven for Chapman's relatives, and the sooner we turn it into Clampett City, the better.
Well, hi there, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane. Y'all come right on in.
Is your father here?
Oh, no, sir. He's over to movie-making studio making movies.
Uh-huh. You see, Chief?
What kind of movies?
Yes.
Now, just a minute. Hits is what I'm gonna make.
Paul says he's gonna make his.
Well, okay then. I'll just make blockbusters and smashes.
Jethro!
What do you say, Dom? You want to be in pictures?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You do?
Yes.
I wonder what I'm supposed to say now.
What is this nonsense? You can't be serious about making movies.
The heck I ain't. I'm gonna be the biggest producer in Hollywood. I'm gonna get me the biggest stars. Fellers like, Kim Novak. And I'm gonna make singing, talking, dancing musicals with the Anders sisters and the Warner Brothers. And I'm gonna...
What, Jethro?
I'm gonna go back to bed. This movie producing is killing me.
Excuse me, Mr. Clampett.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Something happening?
Well, yes, there's a Mr. Drysdale in my office. He wants to know if you can see him.
Yeah, I can see him plain as day.
No, I meant he wants to see you.
Oh. Look this way, Mr. Drysdale. Here I am. Come on in. Excuse the looks of the place. When they put the floor down, they didn't cover up all the dirt, so stuff has commenced to grow.
You mean all this?
Yeah, but don't worry. Tomorrow I'm going to wear my old clothes, and I'll get this all weeded out here, and I'll fill it in with cement.
Don't waste a moment on this place, Mr. Clampett. I'd like to tear the whole studio down.
Oh, well, now, don't do that. I'm sorry I complained. A little dirt and brush don't bother me. I kind of like it.
No, not for that reason. Now, I have a plan to replace the studio with a housing development, and we'll call it Clampett City.
Clampett City?
Think of that. Your name perpetuated for all time. In guidebooks, geographies, on road maps. Clampett City. With streets like Ellie Mae Avenue, Granny Boulevard, Jethro Street.
Well, that sounds fine, but what'll happen to the studio?
This studio has lost money ever since Chapman took it over.
Yeah, but he's doing his level best. Why, he's got all his kinfolks working to help out.
Mr. Clampett, those relatives of his are grifters, malingerers. They pad the payroll, they featherbed.
Oh, yeah, they pitch in and do everything. Awful nice bunch of people. I sure would hate to see them lose their job.
All right. We won't touch the studio to start with. There's plenty of room in the back lot, and nobody will lose their jobs. What do you say?
Well, it sure would pleasure my family to have streets named after them. I reckon I'd be more useful trying to help build a town than to make moving pictures. Why, I can't even get a star to have lunch with. Jethro, you can put them stakes on the truck. I reckon we got enough to lay out our streets.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Boy, we sure gonna need a lot of string.
Don't worry about that. Granny's been saving string since the year 1.
I'm all ready to lay out Granny's Boulevard.
All right, climb aboard, everybody.
Jed, where did you say our town's gonna be?
Oh, out behind the studio on something they call a back lot.
Clampetts City, here we come.
Lunch, everybody.
How long have we got for lunch?
Half hour.
You can take longer, sis.
Oh, sure, you take an hour, Mom.
Thank you, son.
Gee, how come Uncle Larry made him a producer and me just an extra?
Be quiet. We're all eating, aren't we?
This here is what they call a back lot, Uncle Jed.
Nice open country.
How will we know when we get to where our town is gonna be?
Reckon we'll see some of them architect fellas working, huh, Pa?
Reckon so. Mr. Drysdale says he's had a bunch of them working on this project for some time.
Sure hope they got the brush cleared away.
Look, yonder's some building.
Looks like a whole town.
You reckon it's ours?
Must be. I don't see nothing else around.
Them architects sure been a-working.
Looks kind of old-fashioned to me.
Just the kind of town I like.
Pull up and step, Jethro. Let's see what we got.
This here's gonna be Granny Boulevard.
Shucks, Granny, this street ain't nothing but dirt, just like back home.
Well, the sidewalks is just like back home, too, made out of boards.
Even the stores and houses is like back home.
Except there ain't as many trace for my critters.
Uncle Jed, can I drive around and see maybe there's another town?
If you wanna.
I'll go with you, Jethro.
Come on, Ellie. Bye.
Bye now.
I'm glad it looks like back home. I've been missing a place like this.
You know, Granny, I bet you that's why Mr. Drysdale had them architect fellas to build it this way. He knew it would please you.
You ain't fooling me, Jed Clampett. I can see that it pleases you, too.
It does for a fact, Granny. You know, it seems like people is friendlier in little towns like this.
Of course they are. Not standoffish like them highfalutin folks of Beverly Hills.
I kind of get the feeling you'd rather live here than in the mansion.
Oh, Jed, could we?
I don't see why not. It's our town.
Hallelujah! We'll get us the nicest bunch of neighbors that ever barred a cup of sorghum.
All right, let's try a run-through before the crew gets back. Did Uncle Larry send me some more extras?
Yeah, there are 2 sitting over on the porch at the hotel around the corner.
4 people for Dodge City. Oh, well, are they in costume? Yeah. Yeah, give them all guns and fill them in on what to do. Now, here's the new ending we came up with at lunch. You're headed for the hotel. The people are shooting at you, but that doesn't stop you. Mom comes out, starts beating on you. You knock her down, walk right over, right on into the hotel, and you start to tear the place apart.
Fine hotel. Ain't one room in the whole place.
Well, I reckon maybe them architect fellas just ain't had time to finish it. Give us something to do.
Look, Jed, here come some folks.
Yeah, now, first settlers. Doggone, Granny, it looked to me like that man a toting gun.
Hope we ain't got troublemakers right off the bat.
Soon find out. Howdy, folks. Welcome to town.
Hi, here's a gun for you. Here's one for you. Here's yours, Mom.
Thanks, son.
What do we need these for?
Well, shoot the monster. creature from Yucca Flats.
Why do we want to do that?
To keep him from coming into town.
Well, now, hold on. Granny and me were just having a talk about that. We aim for this to be the kind of a town where folks is friendly and neighborly.
Jed.
A town where everybody's welcome.
Jed.
What is it, Granny?
Look, a coming.
Wait. Sure growing tall over the Yucca Flats.
Tall and ugly.
Now, hold on, ma'am. I grant you, he might not be your first choice for a moonlight hayride, but that ain't no call to go shooting at him, especially his first trip to town. Why, a good hot bath and a nice... He too, just downright mean.
Look, Jed. They're going after him tooth and nail.
Well, they ain't making him feel a bit welcome.
Uh-oh. They got his dander up now.
Howdy, stranger. How are things in Yucca Flat? I don't blame you for being a mite riled, but on behalf of Granny and me, I want you to know that you're welcome in Clampett City.
Yeah, we hope you'll be...
Let's get out of here, Granny. You think he's mad now? Wait till he finds out there ain't no rooms in that hotel.
But Chief, I have warned you before. Never interrupt me when I'm saying that word. The smartest move I ever made was buying Mammoth Picture Studios for Jed Clampett. 300 golden acres of unexploited real estate. And we'll start right here on the back lot. And we'll bulldoze all of this flat.
Chief.
And right here where the Western Street now stands, will rise Clampett City's tallest building, Drysdale Towers.
Chief.
40 stories of steel and glass.
Chief, you cannot destroy that Western Street.
Why not?
Because Jed Clampett and his family are living there.
What do you mean they're living there? This isn't a real town, it's a movie set.
Nevertheless, they have moved in.
But the buildings aren't even completed.
They are completing them.
They can't do that. We'll lose millions and millions and millions and millions. Well, don't stand there. Interrupt me.
Well, reckon that's it. How's she look, Ellie?
Looks just like Luke Short's general store back home.
Oh, that'll please Granny. I tried to copy Luke's place near as I could recollect.
Oh, is this all right for the big opening sign?
Yeah, that's fine. Jethro can paint that quick as him and Granny gets back with the supplies. Now, sit down here for a minute. I want to talk to you.
About what, Paul?
Oh, about our little town here. I reckon you've been wondering why I've been so all-fired anxious to get folks to commence moving here and settling down and trading in our general store.
Oh, on account of cause Granny always wanted a store like this.
Well, that's only part of it, Ellie. You remember Luke Short's daughters used to clerk in his store back home?
I sure do. They was 12 of them. Samantha Jane and Elverna Rose and Priscilla.
Yeah, I remember. And every one of them got a husband because they clerked in the store and boys could come in and meet him and get acquainted. And I'm hoping that'll happen around here.
Wouldn't that be something if Granny got herself a husband?
Well, I was thinking about you, Ellie.
Me?
Now, I know we had high hopes for Beverly Hills, but them big city boys turned out to be mighty standoffish.
They sure did.
Now, these small-town boys are different and more friendly. You get yourself a husband in no time at all.
I will?
You play your cards right, you will. Sounds like supplies is coming.
Granny?
Good, good.
Granny, you figuring on selling chickens?
No, but I'm figuring on selling eggs. And I want them to be strictly fresh. That's the spirit, Emma. Now, if the rest of them will all get in and work that fast, we'll get this store in business.
Now, you listen to me, Chapman. Those hillbillies can't live on that western street.
No, but they can. Mr. Clampett owns a studio, remember? And as long as they're happy there, you know what you can do with your bulldozer.
Yes, I do. I'll bring it over and start on this end of the studio.
Sorry? Foiled again. Mr. Clampett says as long as we're shooting a picture, we can finish it. And Mr. Drysdale, we have started a picture that is going to make Cleopatra look like a quickie.
You're bluffing.
Oh, no. I'm writing, producing, and directing it personally. I call it Spartacus and Ben-Hur meet Cleopatra and Nero at the fall of the Roman Empire.
Cleopatra and Nero meet. That would have to cover more than a century.
Yes. And it may take almost that long to shoot it.
You haven't won yet, Chapman. I'll see this hotbed of nepotism flatten if it's the last thing I ever...
Hotbed of nepotism? Are you inferring that I have relatives on my payroll?
My guess would be 200.
Miss Swenson.
Yes, sir.
How many relatives do I have on the studio payroll?
223.
See, you're wrong. Miss Swenson?
You're welcome, Uncle Larry.
I'll get you yet. I'll think of some way.
Oh, Drysdale, you're beginning to bore me. Why don't you just go back to your mortgage mill and foreclose on some poor widow? I have things to do.
See how you look, boy.
Uncle Jed, this is a lot of darn nonsense.
Oh, it ain't, Jethro. Your cousin Ellie needs a practice, and so does Granny. Come on. Morning, Miss Storekeeper.
Well, howdy do. Strangers in town?
Just settled in. Me and my boy here is going to farm a few acres on the edge of town. Thought we'd lay in some supplies.
Well, I'll call my granddaughter. She does the clerking. Ellie Mae! Customers!
Howdy. Welcome to Clampett City.
Always got a broom in her hand. Neatest little housekeeper you ever did see. Good cook, too. Make some lucky boy a dandy wife.
Say something, boy.
What'll I say?
Think. Say something about the broom.
You sweep with that or ride it.
Big car, too.
Places, everybody. Get off of there. I thought I told you to unload hog mash. Any young fellas coming courting age?
Can't tell you.
Uncle Jed, this small town living ain't for me. Can I go over to your movie studio and be a movie star?
I reckon so.
First, you go to my storeroom and unload hog mash.
I bet you Bert Lancaster don't unload hog mash.
Well, then he better not ask for work around here. Now get going.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale. Say, we sure do want to thank you for building us this dandy little town. What happened to your hat?
Oh, I dropped it outside. Oh, Mr. Clampett, this isn't a town.
Well, it ain't finished yet, but it won't take long once the folks commence moving in and settling down.
Yes, but Mr.
Are you all alone?
Yes, Granny. Mr. Clampett.
False alarm, Ellie.
Mr. Clampett.
You gonna buy something?
No, Granny, I'm just here to talk to Mr. Clampett.
Well, sit down, sit down.
Thank you.
You're my first customer. If you don't buy something, it's unlucky.
All right, Granny, all right. Mr. Clampett, you can't live here. Nobody can live here.
Why not?
Well, because this little town is going to be cleared away and all those hills bulldozed flat.
Who says?
Well, that's the plan for Clampett City. You'll have 40-story buildings here.
We like it the way it is.
But you'll make millions.
I got millions.
You'll make more millions.
I don't need them.
Well, surely you want them.
What for?
So you'll have them.
I got them.
But you'll make more.
I don't need them.
How's that look on him, Jed?
Pitiful.
Mr. Clampett, don't you want a city named after you?
I got one.
No. I mean a real city. A city of concrete and steel, towering up into the sky.
We like it the way it is.
But you can't make any money on this town.
Don't want to. I'd rather be happy.
And you're happy here?
Everybody except Jethro. He wants to be a movie star.
He does? Where is Jethro?
In the storeroom out back.
Hold on. You want that hat?
Yes.
Well, that's $1.50. It's really a $2 hat, but I'll make it an opening day special.
Jethro.
Howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
You know, Mr. Chapman is making a movie over at his studio, and there's a part absolutely right just for you.
Let's go.
How about my $1.50?
Can I go too, Paul?
I'm afraid not, Ellie. You gotta stay here and meet some boys.
Oh, she'll meet more boys at the studio than she'd ever meet here.
I'll make it $1.25.
Of course, you'll be in the movie, too.
I'll make it $1.
Oh, please let's go, Paul.
Well, things has been kind of quiet around here.
I'll settle for $6.50.
Mr. Clampett, there's a great part in the picture for you, too. Me? Yes.
All right, take the hat for 50 cents.
Oh, I'm sure they can use you, too, Granny.
Come on, Granny.
Yeah, we'll all be in the movies.
I ain't leaving here until Mr. Drysdale pays me for that hat.
Oh, I'm sorry. How much was it?
How much you got?
27 cents.
So!
Well, now, shall we all go over and be in Mr. Chapman's picture?
Nope. I better stay here and mind the store and make some more money.
I wouldn't worry about that, Granny. That $2 hat you just sold him for 27 cents wholesales to us for $5.
How much profit is that, Jethro?
I'll cipher it for you. 5 double knot.
Never mind. Let's all go over to the studio and make movies.
But my picture's about ancient Rome. Those hillbillies can't live in Rome.
Ah, but they can. Mr. Clampett owns the studio, remember? And as long as they are happy in Rome, do you know what I'm going to do with my bulldozer? Today, the Western Street. Tomorrow, the rest of the studio.
Now, wait a minute. As long as I'm shooting my epic, you can't touch this part.
Excuse me, sir. Caesar is here for you to check his wardrobe.
Oh, good. Enter, mighty Caesar. All Gaul is at your feet.
Where? I don't see it.
Jethro.
Howdy, Mr. Chapman. Or as the feller told me the Romans used to say, hey. Sure sets a feller's knuckles throbbing.
Jethro, why are you wearing that and carrying your helmet?
Is that what this is? Thought it was my mess kit.
Hello, Jethro. I mean, Caesar.
Hang on, Mr. Drysdale.
Smart.
I'm just going to salute the regular way. Hang on, Mr. Drysdale. Mr. Chapman, would you mind if I just waved? I ain't going to have hand enough left to hold my sword.
The martyr who gets thrown to the lions is here.
Come in, miss.
Well, hi there, Mr. Chapman. I'm ready to get thrown to the lions.
Ellie Mae, the martyr is supposed to be dressed in rags.
Well, my pa took one look at them. He said nothing doing. I'm in the movies to get me a husband. I gotta look like I can afford a dowry.
Ellie, you and Jethro are going to be absolutely great. I can't wait to hear you as well as see you.
Mr. Chapman, excuse me. Cleopatra is ready for your inspection.
Howdy. Don't be scared, Mr. Chapman. It ain't a real snake.
Remember, today the Western Street, tomorrow the studio. You see that general store that says big opening? Make one.
Mr. Clampett. Hey, that's a dandy big plow you got. What do you figure to do with it?
Plow, if I can find the right spot.
Well, there's some right fair acreage on the edge of town.
That's wonderful. I'll look at it later.
Come in, come in.
Wait in the bulldog. Plow.
When I first seen you headed for the store, I thought you might be going to plow us under.
I'm surprised to see you here. I thought you had moved out to be a Roman centurion in Mr. Chapman's picture.
I moved right back when I seen what a Roman centurion was. That's a woman cook.
A woman cook?
Yeah. They give me this flimsy dress to wear. There's pot lid and meat cleaver to hold. I'm better off running a small-town general store.
Well, I'll get you another part. How would you like to be a Roman senator?
What do they wear?
A toga. It's a sort of a long... Well, never mind, you wouldn't wear it. Well, I'll get back and see if I can speed up the fall of Rome. That's the name of the picture.
All right, everybody, quiet on the set. This'll be a take. Roll 'em.
Scene 8, take one.
Action! Friends, Romans, countrymen,
lend me your ears and your eyes. Feast them upon these pearls of beauty gathered from the far corners of the world. Beautiful flowers, lovely enough to please even the mighty Caesar himself.
Hey, you watch who you're pushing, Buster!
Keep calling me Wild Track.
Who will buy my beautiful girls? Who'll give me a few paltry coins for these visions of delight?
Hey, I will, right here, me. I'll take this one here. Take these right here. I'll take these two. Oh, why, heck, I'll take the whole kit and caboodle of them.
Let's take a break and move to the Nero set in the Coliseum. Got it!
I don't care how many extras are sitting out there on cold marble. I won't play Nero to her Cleopatra.
And look, I guarantee you she will not appear in the picture. We'll be on your close-up for the whole scene.
And why are we doing all this?
Her son-in-law owns a studio. I mean, you know how it is with these family things, Cousin Vinny.
Well, let's run the scene.
Swell. Okay, Granny, we're ready.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Granny, you won't need the snake for this scene.
I won't?
No, all you have to do is look very exotic.
Like Cedar Barrett.
That's it exactly. You're going to vamp Nero. All right, let's slate it and roll.
Scene 10, take one.
Action.
Cleopatra, my beautiful, ravishing, voluptuous queen.
I like him.
Rolling, we'll wild track it.
We will drink a loving cup, my beloved. A special nectar that I have had prepared just for us.
You know something? You ought to lay off the juice that's putting weight on you.
This wine is prepared from the grapes of my own vineyard, trampled by the feet of 40 maidens.
They ought to took their shoes off. This wine is pitiful. Pitiful.
All right.
Got nothing but colored water.
Let's take a break and settle for the Lion and the Martyr.
I don't know what your 40 maidens have been trampling, but it ain't grapes.
Punch, everybody! 1 hour!
Giddy up! Ah, come on! Whoa, boy! Whoa, steady. Howdy, Uncle Jed.
Hi, boy. What happened to the back end of your fancy buckboard?
Well, this here's what you call a chariot. Everybody in Rome drives them.
Standing up?
Yes, sir.
You ought to tell them about Buggy.
Well, I'll do that. First, I gotta fetch Granny a jug of her elderberry wine.
What for? Somebody ailing?
I don't know. It's for some goomer named, Nero. You want to ride back with me?
No, I'll stay here and mind the store. Sure hope business picks up. So far, I ain't sold nothing.
Well, Uncle Jed, it's no wonder folks ain't coming here to buy.
What do you mean?
You ought to see what they selling over the hill in Rome. Well, man, I mean, they got themselves a real special.
What are they selling?
Girl.
Girl?
Yes, sir. Prettiest thing you ever did see. And you can buy half a dozen for just a handful of change. Yeehaw! Get here. Ah, come on.
Scene 20, take one. Action!
silence. That's it. Now bring him right across to the girl. That's the idea. Closer. Closer. It's there. He's got her. Zoom in. Zoom in. Never mind. Cut it.
How'd you like to come over and live in the back room of our general store? I bet you we wouldn't have no mice with you there.
All right, let's try the Nero Cleopatra wine scene again. Now look, this is the 12th take. Let's try to make this a good one. Roll 'em.
Scene 10, take 12.
Go easy on that elderberry, Nero.
Hello, you.
Keep rolling, we'll wild track it.
Cleopatra, my beautiful, ravishing, voluptuous queen.
Yes, Nero.
Let's get juiced. Let's get bombed out of our Roman skulls.
Keep rolling, we'll wild track it.
Come, sit on Nero's lap.
Cut! Come on, break it up!
Would you please go away? This lovely little lady and I are making plans for our future.
Cousin Benny, you're fired!
I couldn't care less. The Queen of Egypt here has offered me a wonderful job in her general store.
You'd think the Emperor of Rome could afford good wine, wouldn't you?
It was nothing but colored water. One taste of my genuine elderberry wine, and the darn fool proposed to me.
Might not have been the wine, Granny. After all, you were a mighty fine...
Settlers coming!
Places, everybody!
Now, hold on there, Ellie. That might be that Nero fella coming to court Granny.
Oh.
Why?
Well, won't do no harm to be ready.